about getting the flow, you know, understanding more or less where you brake. Pretty exciting lap. I mean, seriously, this is a cool track. What do you think about Lewis's performance in Brazil? Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back, F1 Fridays. And this week I'm taking you through the Qatar track. I've never driven here before. No! Painful. I was just about to say, this is it. Nor has anybody else in the Formula 1 grid, so it's a big challenge. How do they do it? So what they do is usually they send a truck there that laser scans the track, and then that truck sends all the data out to all the teams, and the teams then with the laser information build their own tracks. And if not, then they at least get like the whole construction data from the circuit, so the architectural drawings, so then they have that and they can then create their circuit from that. So at least you get a feel for the flow. The track itself, I mean, it's very, very short straights. It's a motorbike track, so it's going to be quite difficult to overtake. So qualifying is going to be very important, and that's why also the hot lap is going to be very important, which I'm going to take you into right now. But before we go, remember, as always, you have the chance, if you get the top most liked comment on this video, if your comment is the most liked one on this video, then I'll send you a surprise gift. And this week, the question that you have to answer is, so should Max have gotten a penalty in that battle with Lewis in Brazil or not? Let me know, and of course be creative with your answer, otherwise it's not going to be the most liked comment. But in any case, it will be fun to see how many of you say yes and no, so we can weigh that up. So now let's jump into the hot lap. Okay, 1:29.3, that should do it. And now let's jump right into the slow lap where I explain everything to you. Okay, so start finish straight. Actually, it's longer than I thought. So there's plenty of time to overtake here. And so it's really a fast track. I mean, the average speed in terms of corners is going to be, I mean, pretty high. So many medium speed corners. So here you brake at 80, and then quite an early apex, and then you start going out. But you have to keep steering because the entry never stops, you know. So then quickly back as quickly as possible back to the other side, and then again quite a late entry, then try and get to the apex here in the middle, and then carry the speed and use the whole track because the next part is easy flat. I didn't manage to nail that perfectly in my hot lap, but anyways. Okay, now next one again, the medium speed corner, 80 braking, quite an early apex, stay tight. Oh, actually no, that was faster, sorry. The first part was faster, the second one was a little bit slower. Downshifting one gear, fourth gear. There we go, and now comes the hairpin. So you brake here at 70, bang. Second or third gear, standard. Take the curb on the inside as much as you can. It seems quite rough, so to be seen for them. Upshift nicely, back to the left, of course, to get a good entry for the next one. Again, this is an ultra long one. Third gear, ultra long. Stay hugging to the inside and then go wide as soon as possible. Here, use as much curb. Let's see if there's AstroTurf or what. But a lot of people are going to be running wide on the exit there because the exit like kind of cuts in. This corner is easy flat. You go back to the right because this one now tightens in. Quite a late entry. Boom, there's the apex, and then you use the whole track on the exit again. All of these corners are fast. It's going to be crazy fast, this track. In terms of average speed, I mean. Now you got these small lift, seventh gear, small lift, use the whole track. Still seventh gear, another small lift, use the whole track. Here, downshift one, sixth gear, small lift, use the whole track. Boom, wow. And then this one again, small lift, stay in sixth. Use the whole track, so fast, my goodness. Right, left, flat out almost. Brake at 80, late entry here, 4th gear, apex late, get on the power, and then finish the lap like that. Pretty exciting lap. I mean, seriously, this is a cool track. I think they're going to enjoy it. Now I got the hiccups as well. So, and now we jump into the Q&A session. Question 1, Luis. Checo Perez is the only driver in the current grid who took part in a race on this circuit. How much an advantage is it? I didn't know that Checo took part in the race. GP2, yes, you're right. It's not an advantage at all because this Formula 1 car is completely different. And anyways, all the drivers are kind of have to get used to it in a couple of laps. So I don't think it's an advantage. Most drivers will have run it in the simulator, all of them. So they know the flow. So there's no advantage there. Question 2, Pedro. How do you prepare for a new track on the sim? Obviously, you can't compare real racing with the simulator, so you're just trying to get used to it. Yeah, exactly. So on the sim, especially with this track, they will probably have just received the plans from the architects who built the track, and then they make a track from that. It's just about getting the flow, you know, understanding more or less where you brake, kind of getting that turn-in point right, the flow of a corner, because there's many corners that are very long, difficult to get the apex right. Quite a few of them are like late turn-in, late apex, and then the exits, like they never end, they just keep going, exit, exit. And so you just get the flow really on the simulator. That's where it helps. But also from the setup wise, it does help because on the setup with the simulator, you can really run a hot lap and then they can set up the car accordingly because they'll know the average speeds. So they might run the car a bit stiffer if the average speed is higher than they thought. They might run a bit more rear wing, less rear wing, depending on the, so that's also useful for the simulator. Question 3, Robin. As we know from the past, racing on tracks that are designed for motorbikes makes overtaking very difficult and almost guarantees boring races. Do you think it's going to be the same in Qatar? So it doesn't look like the natural, like huge overtaking track. Nevertheless, the straight is quite long and you can, some of the corners are very long where you might be able to offset yourself a little bit, you know, to get out of the dirty air. So you go a bit tighter than the guy in front or what. So let's see. I mean, it's not said that you can't overtake at all. Let's see, maybe it will be possible. Question 4, Karan. What do you think about Lewis's performance in Brazil? Well, Lewis's performance in Brazil was one of the greatest performances we've ever seen in F1. It was just ultra special to not make any mistakes, not have any collisions, come through the whole grid like twice, you know, once from 20th, once from 10th. Insane. The speed that he had also compared to Valtteri, phenomenal. Question 5, Taco Flash. When you follow a car in front of you, how do you handle dirty air in corners but try to stay close to get a good slipstream on the straight? So that's a really good question. So what you do, and you will have seen Lewis do that a lot in Brazil, he was always offsetting himself. So in many corners, breaking into the corner, he was a little bit more to the inside. So he was having the clean air until he got to the apex. There was some long corners where he was literally leaving 2 meters of space at the apex, from the apex, to offset himself to the car in front to run in clean air. Most people will not have spotted that, but obviously I have the experience so I can see it. And that's how Lewis was trying to get clean air all the time to really stay close to the guy in front. And he was really like mastering that art because he had so many people to overtake. So he was really like, it was a kind of a completely different line that you would normally never take around the whole lap. It was all about how do you get into the clean air throughout all the corners. So it was quite cool to watch. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification button so you don't miss out when I receive my Rimac Nevera, which is coming soon. So thanks for watching. Remember, good luck with answering the question. Good luck with your comment below. Bye-bye. Have a good race weekend.